So let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. At 35, I restarted my career, right? I moved to Los Angeles when I was 24. And believe it or not, I didn't want to be a movie star, quote unquote. I actually wanted to be an editor because, I don't know what they call it, neurodivergence or whatever, but I could see details whenever, as a kid, I was in film, when I watched movies, and I could see the inconsistencies, and I always wanted to fix them. So I wanted to move to LA to be an editor, right? But life happened, got married, didn't go for my goal, whatever. Moved to Seattle, and I worked in tech for a while, did video games or whatever because I loved video games. And then, let's talk about it. And then at 35, I told my then husband, look, man, I went ahead and built you up so you can start your career here in Seattle, but this is not what I moved to Los Angeles for. I didn't move to Los Angeles to be married. I moved here because I wanted to do something bigger than myself, right? So I left after doing basically a year and a half of Meisner training, which my teacher kicked me out saying, I can't teach you anymore. You don't do a thesis, go work. I went to the UK. I went to London. I know. I'm sorry. This story is so long. I went to London and I spent my 2 weeks in London to basically go to every theater that I could. I saw Bradley Cooper's Elephant Man and contrasted to Queen's Church Elephant Man. Like I basically did a whole bunch of theater so I can learn okay, what is it? And then at the end of it, I went to the center of London. Forgive me, I've been drinking. And I went to a acting school. Jade was there. She was with me. And I talked to the teacher there and I was just like, I'm here to learn what you need to know. Well, I need to know. Excuse me. And the teacher told me, I can't teach you anything. You'll eat my students alive. I can tell. Look, you have the death of a salesman. The Iceman cometh. Go back to America. Learn the theater that you learned because we still do Shakespeare here. And you know what? Shakespeare's played out. But at least in America, you chose to have your playwrights do something different, something more in depth. Okay. So I started voice acting. But before I did that firmly, I went ahead and I still wanted to act because I did theater, right? So I did I may have seen The Devil. I did Shakespeare. I did movies, and no one ever wanted me to be the person who was the leading lady or whatever. I was always the evil character, the character who could basically be the cleaner. I've realized in Japan, they call it you have the baby doll, the cleaner, whatever. And the cleaner was the person who knew how to act, but didn't have the presence, correct, to basically sway the people. The cleaner was the uncomfortable one, the one who knew how to act and basically build the person who was the baby doll up, who was the child actor that everyone saw. So I realized then, I was like, okay, I'm the person who knows how to act. And after that, going through all the theater, whatever, I had to go into the Seattle Science Center to do an audition in front of 50 plus people. And this is what I read them. This was my audition. Thank you, Maya. You gave me a voice. Still I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come to a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs, out of the huts of history shame? I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain. I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bury in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.